Algebra 2, we're at 7.10b, and we're going to find equations with complex number solutions. We're up to 11 videos for complex numbers. If you become lost or confused, look at this video's description to find the videos you've missed to fill in your missing education, okay? So the principle for zero products, we did that way back in the beginning of Algebra 2 in video 2.1c. There'll be a link for that too. That principle for zero products for real numbers works for complex numbers too, which means we can find equations having given solutions. So we can find an equation having 4 plus 3i and 4 minus 3i as solutions. We set it as x equals 4 plus 3i or x equals 4 minus 3i. We set these to equal 0 and use the principle of zero products. So what we do is we're going to take away the 4 plus 3i from this side and this side to make this equal a 0. That's going to give us x minus 4 plus 3i on this side. We're going to do the same thing over here. We're going to take this away so it's set to 0 because that'll make a 0 pair. And on this side we have x minus 4 minus 3i equals 0. Now we can distribute that negative. There's a negative 1 hiding in front of this parentheses, isn't there? And we can distribute this negative thinking of that negative 1. So that's going to make it negative 4 minus 3i. See how it changed it? And when we distribute this one, it's going to make it a negative 4 plus 3i because two negatives make a positive. See? Now we can multiply these, and we multiply just as if we were foiling, except now we've got 3 terms, don't we? So we're going to do x times x, then x times negative 4, then x times 3i. Then we're going to do negative 4 times x, negative 4 times 4, negative 4 times 3i. Then we're going to do the negative 3i times x, negative 3i times negative 4, negative 3i times negative 3i. And we get this really long equation here that needs to have elimination and like terms combined. So we can see right away that we've got this green one, a minus 4x and a minus 4x. That can give us a minus 8x when we combine them. And we have a positive 3xi and a negative 3xi. And those are going to be eliminated, right, as additive inverses. We have a minus 12i and a plus 12i, and those can be eliminated as additive inverses. So the only thing that's left is this x squared minus 8x plus that 16 minus 9 times this I squared, which is a negative 1, isn't it? And this negative 9 times negative 1 makes a positive 9. So we've got x squared minus 8x plus 16 plus 9. These two can be combined as a 25. And there we go, x squared minus 8x plus 25. And this equation has 4 plus 3i and 4 minus 3i as solutions. See? A lot of steps. It's the multiplication that takes so long and then combining the like terms. But you should know how to do that by now, right? So we just use the principle of zero products and we set it to equal 0. And then we multiply it, simplify it, and we're all set. Okay, let's try another one. Find an equation having 1 plus I and 1 minus I as solutions. So we're going to set it as x equals 1 plus I or x equals 1 minus I. We're going to take away this 1 plus I from each side so that we've got an x minus 1 plus I on this side equals 0. And we're going to do the same thing over here. So we have x minus 1 minus I equals 0 because that's eliminated as a 0 pair. That's eliminated as a 0 pair, you know, additive inverses. Now, we can rewrite it in brackets so it's easier on our eyes. We've got x minus 1 plus I, x minus 1 minus I, and we've got that invisible 1 here, so we can distribute that negative, right? So that's going to make this a negative 1, and a negative times a positive I makes a negative I. And then here we're going to distribute it, and that's going to be a negative 1, and this is going to make it a positive I. And we can set it to equal 0, and we'll distribute and multiply each one. So we have to distribute the x to each of these 3, then the negative 1 to each of these 3, and the negative I to each of these 3. And we get this real long equation that needs to be condensed, eliminated, like terms combined. So here we've got a negative x and a negative x. That's going to make a negative 2x, isn't it? We've got our plus 1. And then we've got this negative I and a positive I, and they can be eliminated because they're additive inverses, right? 0 pairs. And we've got this positive xi and this negative xi that can be eliminated as 0 pairs. So the only thing that's left is this negative I squared. And we know I squared is a negative 1, so we have a negative 1, don't we? Now we can combine the like terms. This is going to be a positive 1, right? Negative times a negative. So now we have 1 plus 1. That's going to be a 2. So we have x squared minus 2x plus 2 equals 0. And this equation has 1 plus I and 1 minus I as solutions. Okay? So just remember to keep track of what you're doing when you're multiplying these. All right? One little step at a time. Go slow and methodical, and you should be fine. Okay? Our next video is 7.10c. We're going to talk about first-degree equations with complex number solutions. I'm going to add this video to the Algebra II playlist. Of course, there's going to be that playlist to Chapter 11 from last year, if that'll help you. And now we've got 11 previous videos for imaginary I and complex numbers. So if you're really lost, go back to 7.7a and begin watching those 11 videos. Those links will be in this video's description, so you can watch it and catch up or study. Okay? And we're going to move on, and I'll see you next video. I'm proud of you. Keep trying. Bye.